Do you ever feel like everyone else has their financial life figured out except you? Like there's some secret money language everyone speaks fluently while you're just pretending to understand the conversation? Here's the thing about people who hate financial noise with money. It's not that you're bad with money. It's that your brain has learned to associate money conversations with overwhelm, and now it's protecting you the only way it knows how, by making you want to tune out completely. Let's start with what's actually happening in your mind. When you hear terms like index funds, compound interest, or asset allocation, your brain doesn't just process information. It triggers a stress response because these concepts feel like a test you never studied for. This is cognitive overload in action. Your mind literally shuts down when presented with too much unfamiliar information at once, and finance is one of those areas where everyone assumes you already know the basics. So instead of admitting confusion, you just avoid the whole topic, which feels safer but leaves you further behind. Now here's where it gets interesting. You probably scroll past investment advice not because you don't care about your future, but because of something called decision paralysis. When there are too many options and too much conflicting information, your brain finds it genuinely painful to make a choice. Should you invest in stocks or bonds? Roth IRA or traditional? Low-cost index funds or actively managed portfolios? The financial world throws dozens of decisions at you simultaneously, and your nervous system responds by choosing the one option that requires no decision at all, which is doing nothing. This isn't laziness. This is your brain trying to conserve energy in the face of complexity. But there's another layer here that nobody talks about. Many people who hate financial noise grew up in environments where money was either never discussed or only discussed during fights and crises. This creates what psychologists call negative conditioning. Your earliest money memories might involve tension, secrecy, or shame. And now as an adult, anything finance-related unconsciously brings back that emotional discomfort. You're not actually avoiding investment strategies. You're avoiding how those conversations made you feel when you were younger and powerless. Then there's the comparison trap, which social media has amplified to an unbearable degree. You see peers buying homes, taking expensive vacations, or casually mentioning their investment portfolios, and it triggers a painful awareness of where you think you should be versus where you actually are. This is social comparison theory in real time. Instead of motivating you to learn, it creates shame. And shame makes you want to hide. So you stop checking your bank app, avoid reading about retirement, and definitely don't bring up money in conversations, because every mention feels like evidence of your inadequacy. Here's something crucial that connects all of this. The financial industry has a vested interest in making investing seem complicated, because complexity justifies fees and expert services. But the truth is, basic investing principles can be explained in about 15 minutes. The noise, the jargon, the constant market updates, most of that isn't helping you build wealth. It's just noise designed to keep you engaged and feeling dependent on expert guidance. Your instinct to hate it isn't wrong. You're sensing something real, which is that much of the financial content out there isn't actually educational. It's performative. And let's address the instant gratification piece because it matters here too. Investing requires you to give up money today for a theoretical benefit decades from now, and that's a genuinely difficult mental trade-off. Your brain is wired to prioritize immediate rewards because for most of human history, long-term planning was less important than surviving today. When you choose to spend rather than invest, you're not being irresponsible, you're being human. The difference is that some people have trained their brains to find satisfaction in watching numbers grow slowly, while others haven't built that neural pathway yet. So what does all this mean for you? It means that hating financial noise isn't a personality flaw or a sign that you're destined to struggle with money forever. It's a learned response to a combination of overwhelm, past conditioning, social pressure, and an industry that profits from your confusion. The way forward isn't forcing yourself to love spreadsheets or pretending to enjoy reading market analysis. It's recognizing that you can build wealth with surprisingly simple strategies once you strip away everything designed to make you feel inadequate. Your relationship with money is just that, a relationship. And like any relationship, it can change when you understand what's driving your reactions. If this resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe for more psychology-based content that actually makes sense of why we do what we do with money.